Welcome back, everyone. JW from JOLO Vineyards and Post Restaurant, Pilot Mountain, North Carolina. So today we're going to cook Spanish shrimp. So I like dishes that have a lot of versatility. So we're going to prepare this as an appetizer, so you can have it on the counter waiting for guests when they arrive. Little toothpicks, super beautiful. Or you can make it a main course, toss it with pasta or macaroni, or you just have it over beans. So I'll show you that in between. So it can be an appetizer or a main course. So super versatile. So my Spanish shrimp is a derivation. It's kind of a mix between two cultures. So you could argue it's a crossover between the cultures. But I like to do almost like a tapenade with a bravas sauce. So bravas from Spain. Bravas means fierce. It's usually a little spicy. It's got a lot of zip to it. And then the tapenade, classic tapenade, which has your olives, your capers, your garlic, and anchovies usually. So we're going to make it without the anchovies, although you could with the shrimp. So, but I'm going to do it without. So I'm going to make a classic tapenade. So we're going to start off with some garlic. So I'm going to take the garlic. When I say the tapenade, it's tapenade-like. It just doesn't have the anchovies. So I'm going to take the garlic. I'm just going to mash them so it's easier for the food processor to process. I'm not going to lie to you, I like garlic in this. To me, it's just that tang, that little spiciness. It just makes all the difference. And I like to use beyond Kalamata olives, which you have to use Kalamata on a tapenade. They're not really Spanish, so you can use Picholines, you could use Manzanilla, Caldotrano, all those olives. But here, I like to use some of the brine too. So here's some, maybe, I don't know, it's a quarter cup of Kalamata olives. And I'm going to add these Manzanilla olives, a few of those. Get the garlic in there. Of course, the secret weapon is capers, or our capers. So I'm going to put 1.5 tablespoons of that in there. Oh, that's the wrong lid for that one, isn't it? So now I'm also going to add a little lemon juice. But before I squeeze the lemon, what I want to do for later is I love lemon rind. To me, it's versatile, it's flavorful. It adds an extra layer of complexity and depth to dishes. People ask, what is that? It's just lemon rind. Put it on my scallops with risotto. Just has that freshness. So just keep it on the side. So here's basically a basic tapenade. I'm going to add olive oil to, but not yet. So again, I don't want this to turn into a mayonnaise. So we're going to take this and blend it up. Just like that. So you can add parsley to this, basil, but this is just a basic tapenade. So now I'm going to add some olive oil. So this is probably a good ½ cup for all that volume of olive oil. And in Europe, when you have your guests over, just take some of this before you even get started. You smear this on a crostini, put a little sprig of either thyme or some basil on there, just on a piece of bread. People go crazy. So you see that beautiful texture, that gorgeous. So you can use more olives, less olives. This is your recipe. So whatever you like, you want more garlic, add more garlic. But that's the basic. So now that is my almost tapenade for the sauce. So I'm going to take and heat this up a little bit. You don't want to burn everything in here, especially the garlic. You just want to release some of the oils and the olives, olive oil, and the garlic. So I'm going to take this here, about that much. And if you want to make a tapenade, now you can use this, add some anchovies, and now you can smear that in a crostini, maybe roll an anchovy on top, put a little basil chef on that, and that's an appetizer as guests come over. I mean, reuse it, they're not going to know what's in the base of this. There's a lot of theme maybe in your dinner. And this is one of the themes, the tapenade. So now for because that's going to take literally 6-7 minutes to cook with the shrimp. So to make the brava sauce, I'm using that as the base. Some red peppers. So I'm just going to chop. These are roasted red peppers. You can roast them, or you can buy them already pre-roasted in a jar. That's what I do. I mean, you don't need an unnecessary roughness. You get 18 people coming over for dinner. Last thing you need to be doing is roasting a pepper. So I'm going to throw some roasted peppers in there. I'm going to throw some red wine vinegar in, just for some acidity. That's probably 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. And then I'm going to add some tomato sauce. And again, to me, nobody does it better than Hunt's. Not related to them at all, I've just been on the tomato sauce tour of my life, and this is the best in my opinion. So I'm gonna add some tomato sauce to this. That's probably a quarter cup of tomato sauce. And I'm gonna stir it. Now you can add chili flakes. If you want to get this spicy, you can add chili flakes to this. But for a little background flavor, I'm going to add a little smoked paprika. So this is probably, I don't know, half a teaspoon smoked paprika. So now I'm going to get my pan hot for the shrimp. In fact, what I'm going to do is make my life easy. Play magic burners here. I'm going to transfer this to this and use a big one for the shrimp, huh? Smarter than I look, right? So, put that here, get the shrimp going. So, like I said, I'm going to tell you use this plate. And I do like to put a little thyme in this dish, but I'm going to put the thyme in with the shrimp. So I'm going to take the thyme, you can use the regular thyme, but you just want to kind of peel it off like that. Just run your hand down the stem. And thyme to me is like rosemary. A little bit goes a long way. And to me, thyme is like peanut butter and jelly with fish. So to me, nothing tastes better with fish than thyme. It has like almost a citrusy quality to it. So that little bit of thyme there is enough. Turn this on here, just slightly. I'm going to add some olive oil to this. Just like that. I'm going to add my shrimp. I know what you think, it's not seasoned. You are correct. So I'm just going to season it. A little bit of salt so all the layers taste good by themselves. A little pepper. So I'm just going to saute that. How easy is that? Getting this nice and warm. And then, if you want to make this the main course or even for appetizers, just they'll need a spoon. But we'll take some cannellini beans, which I've already opened. Just going to drain them. So you drained cannellini beans. Doesn't have to be Bush's, could be anybody's. One of the best meals I ever had was in Tuscany, and it was just perfectly seared raw tuna with just lemon and thyme, over top garlic and cannellini beans. I'm like, how is this so good with like 5 ingredients? So sometimes simple is the best. Less is more, they say. So sauteing the shrimp. Look at that nice, get a nice little color. Super easy. So that sauce is, oh, you can smell that. Shrimp smells so good. Just trying to make sure both sides are getting nice and pink. Like that. Use your finger to do it. And then in the last minute or so that needs to be cooked with the shrimp, I'm going to add the sauce. So this way everything gets incorporated, and you want all that nectar, all that beautiful liquid or liqueur coming from the shrimp, you want that incorporated into the sauce. So I already have the thyme. I just can't help myself this time of year. I got to put basil. I just love that licoricey quality. So I'm going to just get some nice rustic ribbons. You can even just tear it. I'm also going to add a little fresh tomato. So I'm just take a piece of tomato, just like this, just cut it, and cut little squares. Squares that way, turn it, and squares that way. Again, just for some freshness. So I'm putting that right in here now. A little bit of salt, because those tomatoes don't have it. I'm going to add my Bravas tapenade sauce. But if you want, you can get crazy, like I said, just with the cannellini beans, or you can use the same pot. So you can take this, transfer this, cook the beans in here. So that's done. Shut the heat off there. You're going to add a little kiss of olive oil to this. I'm going to add the beans. A little piece of garlic. I need a little more garlic, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, I like garlic. There you go. So I have that. On the knife. Salt and pepper. The salt. Go easy on the salt. Try the beans first. Sometimes they come in a salted brine with liquid or salty, so you don't want to oversalt your beans. like that. Put some of that thyme in here. To me, that needs a little lemon juice. So I'm going to take the lemon that I've already taken a little ribbon off or two, which I'm going to finish with. I'm going to squeeze some of that lemon juice right here. Just a little bit. So again, this could be your appetizer. So I'm going to take this like that. I'm going to take your Spanish shrimp. This is a main course, by the way, right? I mean, so, but appetizer, how pretty that looks. I'll make it look pretty, I promise. Like that. Put a little toothpick in each one of these. Got all that beautiful flavor. Then I'm going to want a spoon to get all those beans. What was that, 7-8 minutes? You got 2 pots maybe. Just like that. So, just going to add a little fresh lemon juice. A little bit too much there. You get the point. So a little basil. Maybe a sprig or 2 of thyme on there, just for garnish. Obviously you want to wipe the plate. Yeah. And just a little bit of olive oil. I got a lot of lemon juice on this, just a little kiss of that, adds that pepperiness. And then you can just put your toothpicks out, like this. Or just put the toothpicks in there. Or that's your main course. And it's absolutely divine. Tons of flavor. I think of all the flavors in there. Between the Kalamata olives, the other olives, the capers, the olive oil, the lemons. It's absolutely tremendous. So hopefully you all enjoy the Spanish shrimp. With that, you need something that can hold up to all of these flavors, especially the saltiness. So to me, I would reach for a gorgeous sparkling wine. And not to be braggadocious, at the American Fine Wine Society, this just got 95 points. This is a rosé brut style sparkling wine. So this is our 2023. So the sparkling wine really allows the palate to be cleansed, especially with all the salinity. And then the creaminess of the cannellini beans. There's so many flavors here. To me, nothing helps balance that acidity and all the complex flavors than a gorgeous, structured, sparkling wine. So cheers to you all. And if you have a moment, I would like to talk about the serving temperature. So I'm going to put them in order. So figure sparkling wine and a unoaked wine like a Sauvignon Blanc or a Golden Hallows. Next in the lineup would be a oak-aged Chardonnay. And then, of course, a red. Because people ask all the time. So you want this served between 40 and 45 degrees. This you'd want between 55 and 60. The more oak, the less refrigeration. And this you want between 55 and 60 degrees. That's how red wine should be served. Not at 80 or 75. Sometimes at restaurants I'll actually put my red wine on ice for 5 or 10 minutes. If it's blazing hot, you can't get all the nuances and the character out of the wine. So just think 45, 55, 60 are in that range. So 40 to 45, 50, 55, 55, 60. You can enjoy the wine as they're meant to be enjoyed with a gorgeous, healthy meal. So cheers to you all. Happy summer. See you on the beach.